So to start off this week's episode, that whole solid-state button situation with the iPhone 15 Pros aren't really looking all that solid, at least per Ming-Chi Kuo. According to one of his latest reports, or in his case of favorite words, survey, he says, quote, due to unresolved technical issues before mass production, the 15 Pro models will abandon the solid-state button design, unquote. Not really anything of a lengthy statement or even a topic in general. And it's not like any of the rumors were falsely sourced. It's just production challenges often elicit negative changes. So I'm not really even disappointed. I could go one way or the other, but
yeah, I'm kind of indifferent about it. I mean, either way, it would have been nice to have solid state again if they did it and went through it correctly. But honestly, I live in the classic, with just normal function buttons. So yeah, it's fine with me, honestly. So
yeah, that's kind of the diehards get to have one more year of physical buttons before they hit the solid state.
Yeah,
and I feel
pretty
like
much.
I'm one of those. Yeah. So, but before I actually hand it off to you, I did want to mention that per one of our topics that we showcased on our last episode, one of the team members over at YouTube took to Reddit with a whole bunch of written Q&As for those of you curious about more details on the Sunday Ticket that debuts on YouTube TV this fall. So we'll have that in the description below. You guys can check out some of those question and answers. One of them was actually noting that they limit it to 2 streamers active at once.
Man.
Yeah.
That stinks.
They did say that they're considering the option to have like a fee for more.
Of course.
That's aside from the 4K or having to have YouTube TV base channel or base subscription. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get the limitation, but also like 2 is a little bit smaller because I think you had mentioned that it may have been 4, up to 4, but
well, that was actually the it's actually when I need to correct myself on that one. I think I even put it in the description last week that it's or the week before. It's actually unlimited if you go for the $73 plan a month and add on the 4K package. That'll actually allow you unlimited streams active at once within your own household.
But if you just do the base thing, you only get 2.
If you do the base and actually just do a regular Prime channel on YouTube, yeah, that'll just be 2 streams for Sunday Ticket. So,
Yep. Another final end to an era is LG's final update on their last phone. The LG Wing will be receiving Android 13, and this update consists of the following. And these are actually ones that are associated with the Wing itself, so not necessarily pointed towards Android 13, but just ones that are for the Wing. Device control shortcut icons can now be displayed on the lock screen. Added preview sharing and text editing functions for copy text or images. You can check and stop apps that are currently active in the status notification window. The multi-window function has been simplified. The functions of the music and video controllers displayed in the status notification window have been improved, and added notification permission setting function for each app. This update will begin in South Korea, because I think they actually said that it was originally released in South Korea, or maybe the first update was or something like that, but there is no mention of when this update will take place, though it is mentioned it will be sometime this year, obviously, so probably I'm thinking mid time this year, maybe a month or 2. So, but yeah, I know you had the Wing, and I know we've kind of discussed it at small length here and there. But I don't know how you feel about this particular item. But
sort of one of those reminders that I don't like being reminded of.
That's really I totally get it. I totally get it.
It's not even like I'm glad they got this update. It's I'm reminded once again that LG is no longer in the mobile market. So
it's almost depressing.
Yeah, it is kind of depressing. So just to kind of hear that, and I mean, I'm sure some of those people out there that own it are really excited to hear about another update that adds a little bit more, fixes and maybe some small features here and there. But yeah, outside of that, no.
Yeah,
Just nostalgia.
I think I saw a couple comments saying that Android 11 was amazing for the Wing, but once they upgraded to 12, it was so bad that they actually had to switch to like a Samsung
Downgrade.
8, or
Oh,
like I should specifically say like a Galaxy 8 or something like that.
S8,
And so
yeah.
they were hoping that this 13 will actually fix a lot of those issues. And honestly, I wouldn't blame them. That's kind of annoying because I know we talked about OnePlus having those issues when they upgraded to not necessarily Android 12, but which one
Well,
was
yeah,
it?
it's like the
Switching
second
to
or third upgrade that you get after you buy the phone that tends to have like issues. So,
mhm.
yeah, and I guess that probably makes sense because that was back when they were trying to develop that phone and develop the software for the phone. So it probably
Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me that 11 was a really good release for that model. So
for sure.
with that, I'm curious what you think of this leak that's surfacing about Apple potentially developing panels for a 32-inch or a 42-inch iMac, or maybe even an external display, likely to surface around 2027. And is that something you feel like the market would crowd towards?
Yes, actually, because I always think about like what was the biggest desktop that I've ever really seen, and it was a Windows. And I think I saw it at Best Buy a couple years back. I don't know the name of it. Maybe you can help me out, but it was really big, and it was literally a touchscreen, and it was designed for
Did you
artists
say what
to.
brand it was?
I think it was it might have been Microsoft, but I'm not
Okay,
sure.
because I was wondering if it might have been HP or something.
It was definitely one that had Windows on it, obviously, but I can't remember. But yeah,
Okay.
the name escapes me. But yeah, that's one I always go back to, and I actually used it for a little bit while I was at Best Buy, and I loved it. That is
Hmm.
it's really geared towards people who want to draw on a larger scale.
Content creators, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And especially if you're doing like video editing, that helps a lot. That way you can really delve into that. And I think it's efficient as well. Uh, for Apple to do this, I think it would work. I don't see a really major issue in it. I would love to see them actually utilize touchscreen with that because I think it probably cost a heck of a lot more. But again, it's Apple, so
Yeah, I mean, I think in that sense, because we've talked about this, and I won't really harp on it too much, but we talked about, a MacBook having touchscreen.
mhm.
Well, what does it come down to when you have an iMac, or in this case, what do you have when like you have like a really large iMac, like a 32-inch or a 42-inch? I think that allows you to work with, yes, added cost of a bigger touchscreen, but more real estate to work with in utilizing touchscreen
Sure,
interactions. So,
yeah,
yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, there really isn't much meat to this rumor other than the uprising trend in OLED panels.
hmm
And we expect Apple to transition fully over to OLED in all of their display designated products by the year 2028.
yikes.
Yeah, such products actually are like the foldable 20-inch OLED iPad, which could reach the market
hmm
by 2026. So we're not really entirely sure how that's going to work out. There's been a lot of rumors going back and
Oh
forth
yeah,
on
we talked about them.
Apple's foldable mobile touch product. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
but yeah, I just kind of felt like this one was kind of
Out there.
yeah, I felt like it was a little bit too out there. I just didn't feel like it,
Yeah,
it really was there, and that's why I said, there wasn't too much meat to it. So, but I was kind of curious. I did at least want to hear what you kind of had to think
yeah,
about it, if it did come true, and if people could actually jump in and Apple could profit off of that. So,
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think it'd be a great idea. Just really depends on how they go along with it if they were to do it. But so this news story happened, I believe today. Students were canyoneering, and they had gone through a part where there was a deep water source. I guess from the winter, and I think this was in Utah, I believe.
okay,
Um, and after they had passed through that, they went on to discover another even deeper part, and they wanted to tread through it. But they got stuck at about an 8-10 inch deep hole. Thankfully, one of the students actually had a iPhone 14 on them and was able to use the Satellite SOS feature released back in September. The student, Stephen Watts, was able to contact 911 successfully. And while they were waiting for services, they located a pile of driftwood and started a small fire to keep them warm, because it turns out a couple of them had already gotten hypothermia.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, the yeah, I know. Eventually, EMC services made their way to them in good time, thankfully. And this is just one of many stories of people that have been able to utilize Satellite SOS. And
Yeah.
we kind of questioned that when it first came out, not necessarily if it'd be good or not, but you know, if it would be.
How many people would be using it enough to actually for Apple to
Yes.
implement it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I think they also mentioned they were going to charge people after the 2-year mark or something like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm glad that these kids were able to make it out okay. So
Yeah, I mean yeah, like you said, we do hear a lot of stories like that, or we've at least heard a lot of stories like that since this implementation back in
mhm.
September. So, it's scary,
Yeah.
um, and it kind of reminds me when Apple goes through their events, specifically Apple Watch, and just how that device alone, helps people when they're in an emergency because,
Yeah,
they're stuck or something like
absolutely.
that, or, they're in a small place and they reach for the Apple Watch and they can get 911 there as well. The SOS is definitely more for the extreme, and I can see why Apple wants to charge them that after that 2 years, just because they kind of need to get some sort of kickback. We've mentioned this in past episodes of how much they're actually dropping into this entire plan and project of SOS, and
Mhm.
just all the people that are involved with that. So, yeah, I know it's not like 100% like tech associated, but it's important to kind of highlight
No,
these
we
stories that come along because
yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
We've had a lot of crazy news, especially the thievery that happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
It's I
yeah,
mean it necessarily tech related, but it is this just kind of things that happen in the tech community and that kind of thing. So um
yeah. And I mean, it just goes to show other people, like, even not iPhone users, that if you have a phone that has SOS, just it's important to be aware of
it
that, so that way
is.
you can utilize
Yeah.
it when it comes time. So, yeah, that's really impressive. So, but yeah, I think we're moving on to deals.
Mhm. Yep, and we'll start off with Apple, and this is for their 2023 MacBook Pro for the 14-inch specifically. It's seeing a reduction on Amazon of $249, bringing it down to $1,749.99.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I would consider that a decent deal there. So, um, we'll move on to TV. This is a 55-inch Neo QLED 8K smart TV from Samsung, down from $2,000 to $1,300. So $700 savings there.
Hmm, nice. Anchor Space headphones. These are on Amazon, 33 or 36% off. I don't even think you and I have ever used Anchor headphones.
Anchor, yeah, you just that really threw me a
I didn't even know
questioning face
Anchor
there.
made headphones
Neither did
until I
I.
saw this, and they actually look pretty nice. Some of them run
Is
from
this on
like
Amazon?
yeah.
Okay,
I'll
what are
send
the
you
ratings on that, by the way?
um 4.5 stars for most of them. For
How
all of
many?
them, 4.5
No,
about.
I mean, how many reviews?
Oh, I mean it depends. There's like 15 different headphones.
Is it colors?
Yeah, they're different colors. Well,
Oh,
there's
okay.
the Anchor Space Q45, the Q30, Q35.
Oh, okay.
They're
So this discount affects all of those?
all of these, yeah. And there's also earbuds. So
Okay.
there's the A series. Those are the earbuds, and then the Q series are the headphones. And yeah, you'll see a price reduction of about 30 to 36%. And a lot of these have a price of, depending on what you get, 55 to like $100.
Oh,
And a lot of
wow.
people seem to like them, which honestly we should probably test them out because they seem pretty nice. The style and
Yeah, I
look
mean, who knew?
almost reminds me of here, let me see this thing 'cause they look really cool. Almost reminds me of sort of like a Beats type
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to put on the list with the nothing earbuds because I want to try those out as well.
yeah.
Those are really on our list for testing out headphones for the channel. So, but you had some news on a car manufacturer, is that right?
Yes, BMW is finally bringing digital car key support to Android with specifically two companies, Samsung and Pixel phones. So any
Oh,
BMW vehicle produced after November of 2022 will have this utilization. And the following phones that will be able to use this feature are the Pixel 6 Pro and 7 Pro, and the following Samsung devices are the Note 20 Ultra, S21 Ultra, S21 Plus, Z Fold 3, S22 Ultra, S22 Plus, Z Fold 4, S23 Ultra, and S23 Plus. I know that was a whole slew of names there, but if you want to take a look at those again, you can either rewind what I just said, or you can go ahead and go to the link that we have below. So, as a side note, by the way, this is given by Android Authority. You will need to make sure that your phone is running Android 13 or above. Otherwise, you cannot use the key, the digital card key.
We're just, well, this is part of the reason why we didn't have an episode last week, but I was down in Florida and I was talking to my other brother, and he is not the biggest fan of digital car keys.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's just the whole entire security thing, and I don't know.
I get that.
Just some speculation there. But yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't know how many times I've gone to my car and I actually forget my keys. Actually, it just happened last week. I was at the beach and I walked back to the car and I didn't have the keys with me. They were in the beach bag.
Of course.
And I needed to run back and then go to a restaurant and pick up some food. So I'm like, oh. Now, in my case, I had Honda, so I had Honda Link, so I could unlock the car, but because I don't actually have a digital key, it doesn't allow me to turn on the car and actually drive. Gotcha. It just allows me to unlock or remote start. That's it.
Man.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to when I'm able to actually own a car that has digital car key.
Same here.
Android or Apple, I really don't care.
I totally get it. I've had that
at
problem
this point in time.
Losing the key, which is why I have an AirTag. So...
An AirTag, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So rounding out the end of this episode, we have more near certain specs related to some Pixel products. One of which is the price for the previously sneak peeked Pixel Tab. For starters, we had 9 to 5 Google spot on Amazon a listing for the docking station for said Pixel Tab.
Dang, all right.
That priced the product at $130. So we now know what the dock is going to be priced at. And it would have a release date of May 10th, which is also the same date for this year's Google I/O event. Okay. Some of those items have been since removed from Amazon. I think the product is still there, but the release date and the pricing has been removed. So,
yeah.
Another leaker also claims that the tab itself should come with a 2 storage tier, 128 and 256, which is going to be mated to 8 gigs of RAM and showcased in potentially 4 colors.
Wow, okay.
They have a couple, I think Hazel and might be Obsidian, I'm not sure, are one of the few that we see on there so far.
Okay.
And it should come with an estimated price of what he's saying is 600 to 650 euros. And so if you kind of convert that to USD and kind of adjust it for our national market pricing, puts it around $600. So $599 probably, if we were to guess. So
that's not too bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, I don't know if that's supposed to include the docking station or if that comes with it. It's from the way they said it last week, or last year, it sounded like it's supposed to be an additional accessory.
I was gonna say I don't think it'd come with it. That'd be first of all a large box.
Unless you get like a bundled discount.
Yeah, if you get a bundle, I understand
like
that. But just on its own, I don't think that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking it's supposed to be a separate. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I'm not really too much excited about the tablet. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see how it's implemented. In some cases, we kind of already seen a little.
You're more excited about the dock.
I'm more excited about the dock. I am. I like the speakers and then just being able to like mount it and stuff like that. Yeah. It's just like...
Well, you need the tab.
I'm looking forward to that.
So.
Right, yeah. $130 is a waste of money unless you're actually going to buy the tablet.
Yeah.
So. Basically. But so further leaks surfaced in regards to the upcoming Pixel Fold, which is also expected to debut in the next couple months. And there is an expected teaser actually for this model, which should surface on the 26th of this month, which would actually be tomorrow, or I guess even today if you're listening to this on Wednesday. Now, I won't get into all the specs, which in theory is actually kind of funny considering that we seemingly have so much detail about a product that hasn't even hit the market yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Then again, this is Google that we're talking about, and they essentially give us everything there is to know about their products before the official launch event or press release.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
I kind of like to think of Google's I/O event as a wedding. We've already got the ring in hand. We're just waiting for the preacher to officiate what we already know is going to happen. So that's kind of how I see this for
Basically,
years past.
that's 100% correct. Google tends to do that. So
Yeah. So in either case, here are some highlights, and one of them is the price. As we previously mentioned on this show, there will be a 256 gigabyte variant, and we expect it to run $1,800, which for a foldable, that's not really surprising.
yeah, that makes sense.
And then there will still be an anticipated 512 gigabyte model that will fetch $1,920. Why the extra $20? I have no idea. I guess it's just $20 that Google is pocketing. I'm not really sure, but that's a rumored price.
Okay.
Both variants will ship with 12 gigs of RAM powered by the Tensor G2 processor. The foldable is expected to reach pre-orders on May 10th, which also should include, if you guys are interested, an added gift of a Pixel watch with that pre-order through Google Store.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So, and then you should then be able to pre-order the models through your carrier if you so desire on the 30th of May. And then by June 27th, it should be widely available.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's actually pretty good. I know we talked about the Fold specifically every now and then, but to kind of hear it like it's actually got a date, it's got a crap ton of specifications. I'm pretty excited for it, honestly, even though I literally am not going to be able to get it. But I'm excited even so, and I can't wait to see it on I/O. So
yeah, this is going to be one of those products that I will probably test out.
Good for you.
And I'm excited to test out long before my excitement for any Samsung Fold.
That's
Clarification,
interesting.
Fold, not a flip. I love the flips. But yeah, real quick, this foldable will sport an external OLED display of 5.8 inches with FHD Plus running at 120 hertz.
Okay.
And while the internal display stretches 7.6 inches, also 120 hertz. And the battery, at least per Google's internal marketing team, boasts upwards of 24 hours of battery life. So
Nice.
There's that side of things. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rear will house a 48 megapixel wide main sensor and a 10.8 megapixel ultra wide, as well as a 10.8 megapixel telephoto.
Gotcha.
And then to close out these last few specs, you should also expect the power button to house a fingerprint sensor.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of. That's a little
really want
nice
that
tidbit right there. Yeah. And then the phone should have a product weight of 10 ounces with a height of 5.5 inches, a width of 3.1 inches, and a depth of a 0.5 inch. So we really, and there's further details in the link below concerning more in-depth camera specs and other details. It's just, this is what I mean by it's crazy we have this much detail on a phone that we haven't even seen. I guess we're waiting for the teaser now, evidently, for this week. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything specific from what I've mentioned that you're looking forward to, other than just the general gist of a foldable Pixel.
There aren't a whole lot of foldables in the game right now. I mean, obviously Samsung's the main one.
Right.
But we've talked about it before. It's always good to have competition against Samsung or any manufacturer at all. But obviously, since they have the foldable. But yeah, I'm really genuinely excited just because I've seen the leaked images, quite a few of them, and I love them.
Look pretty snazzy.
They do look pretty sleek. So yeah, I'm totally for it.
Yeah. So with that, before we close out this week's episode, I did want to mention something that came up on our news feed just as we were editing this. The price for the OnePlus Pad was revealed, and it will come at $480. So I think Riley had it a little bit higher than I did. I think I had it around like $330. So, but if you want to go ahead and pre-order that, that starts on the 28th. And like we said before, they will also be giving you a pre-order gift, which includes either a stylus or a keyboard attachment, depending on your preference. So, yep. So a lot to look forward to here coming up in May. And then, of course, we'll have a lot of news surrounding Apple and their WWDC coming up here in June. So stay tuned for more episodes. We will definitely be back next week with more tech news and rumors. This is JD and Riley signing off.
Peace out.